Okay, I'm a little early, but that's okay. This is a live broadcast. Um, for anybody who would like PDFs for the up and coming lessons or today's lessons, just email me. Here's my email. That's mattpatella1001 at gmail.com. Now, when you do view the lessons, because they're going to be recorded and they're going to be on my channel, subscribe to my channel and watch the lessons. And if you have any questions or any problems, give me a call, an email, shoot me an email. Okay? Now, when you do view the lessons live, and please get into the chat and say hello, become recognized. Let me know who you are, you've been here before or whatever. Okay? Now, I've been getting a tremendous amount of email in reference to the term straight up and down and swung. And we're going to try to straighten that out today. Also, there's been a little bit of a bit of confusion on my technique. When I teach, first off, I do not use molar, I do not use stone, nor do I use Adler. What I use is a natural approach, a natural way to play. My body flows with what I'm playing. When I'm demonstrating and when I'm teaching, it's very slow, almost slow motion, and I'm explaining what occurs with the stick while you're, say, for example, doing a paradiddle or a 5-stroke roll or a single 5 or whatever rudiment that we're covering. And it's everybody's saying that, they're getting confused, that it only comes from the wrist. Well, let me straighten it out. It all comes from the wrist. But also, the wrist is there. That's your element there. But it does come from the elbow, and it does come from the shoulder and the fingers. But the wrist is always moving. Okay, so now, the molar technique, so to speak, we have to straighten that out. In my opinion, it's labeled molar, but it's not, I don't know why. I mean, I guess I do know why. I mean, if it wasn't for Jim Chapin, there would be no molar technique presented. It's the laws of physics. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. Now, let me explain that. And how I explain playing a rudiment. I'm going to do some of it on a drum pad, so you could actually see it. Now, if I'm playing, if I throw the stick down from here, the natural thing is for it to come back. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. I throw down, the opposite reaction comes back. So it's just very relaxed. When I throw down, I come from the wrist. But also back here, the joint of the elbow and the joint of the shoulder, they're like levers. If you don't know what a lever is, it's like a wheel with grooves on it. Let's say we have a wheel here, a wheel here, a wheel here, and the wheel with the fingers with grooves on it. And they all have to be interlocking and working at the same time, or they're fighting. So when I demonstrate, for example, a paradiddle, I'm taking it down to ground zero, and I'm explaining it to you what is occurring with your drumsticks when you're playing it fast. It's this. It's a downstroke, upstroke, tap, tap. That is what occurs. Now that looks like I'm a robot and I'm pretty stiff. That's not how I actually, when I'm playing at different tempos, that's not what is happening with my body. That is happening with my sticks. Everything comes. It has to be a motion. Look at my arm. It's not a whip. It's just a stroke. It's all relaxed. If I was tense, it would distort the sound. It would prevent the sound from going out if I hold that stick tight and be tense. And the wheels will not be in sync. And eventually, if you continue to do that, what's going to happen is you're going to develop either carpal tunnel syndrome or tendonitis. Now, I see some guys doing something like this, which is totally, totally unnecessary. And it does create a problem. Now, when they throw the stick down, they release it and they grab it like this. That's total unnecessary. I don't know why. They're afraid somebody's going to rob the stick. I don't know why. So what happens when you do that, you create tension. We play without tension, tension free. It's a natural way to play. I'm just stroking. Now we're going to get into the levels, the forms of the different sounds, the different distances, the weights, the velocity, all that good stuff. I don't want to do that. Someone was referring, they use molar and they go like this, doing the paradiddle. Well, if I do that when I'm playing a paradiddle here, I don't have time to do all that. It's relaxed, but if I do this and I do it that fast, I'm not going to do it that fast right now, you'll levitate. I mean, it's ridiculous. Everybody's so confused about this nonsense, it's ridiculous. You don't throw the stick down and catch it. You don't play like this. I'm relaxed. I'm going with the flow. It's coming from my wrist, my elbow, and my shoulder. It's all relaxed. All the levers or the wheels are in unison. They're working. They're not. If I have one of the levers or the wheels not in sync, it's going to create a problem. It's just relaxed. It's not this. And all these different sticking grips. You know, you have, it's supposed to be the German, the German, the French. I don't know what the American is, man. I don't know what the hell that is and where it came from. From some motivational speaker created it and made a whole different thing happen and created a whole lot of turmoil and confusion inside of the drum community. So I just use the German, which is my palm, the back of my hands up, and the German, my thumb facing my face. Now, I got a video the other day from one of the students demonstrating how he plays doubles. He comes down with the German and he turns it over for the second stroke like this. That doesn't make any sense. It's a stroke and rebound. I control the stroke, so on and so forth. All right, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to have it on my channel. So subscribe to my channel if you'd like. If you have any questions, I'm going to make a video of that in detail, in depth, and organize it. Right now I'm doing a live stream and I'm trying to accomplish a lot of things. The one thing that I've been getting a lot of email about was, what is the difference? They don't understand. Straight up and down and swung. Well, it's simple. We're going to go first off. All right, we'll start with the stick control book, okay? That's my primary source of teaching. That book is gold, all right? For example, if I take the first measure of page 5, line 1, it's written, it's in cut time, but we're not going to deal with that. We're going to play it in eighth notes. And we're going to play eighth notes straight up and down, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And. Now I'm demonstrating that slow. I'm not blasting singles or whatever. It's just right, left, right, left. It's the way George Lawrence Stone intended to make the right hand and the left hand equal. And that's straight up and down. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And. Now, When I count, that's an eighth note count, by the way. When I count staccato. The term staccato means short sounding. Okay, now for example, I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and my sounds are kind of like, not short, they're a little long. 1 and 2 and. So staccato means I want to shorten up the sound. 1 and 2 and. Makes me not tight, but inside the time correct. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that's straight up and down. If I want to swing that, what happens is this. How you doing, John? When I swing that, what I do is I revert to an eighth note triplet count. Okay, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That's how I count triplets. Some guys count triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, which is fine. If it works for you, fine. I don't really subscribe to that kind of counting. I count 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Okay? So, what I do now, when I'm looking at a line straight up and down, for example, that first line 1 of page 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I want to open up the distance a little bit between the 1 and 2. 1 and is straight up and down. Now, if I think of now a triplet, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and all the ands become the da of the triplet. So if I played 1 and, it would be 1 and da. I do 2, it would be 2 and da. Now straight up and down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Swung, 1 and the 2. 1 and the 2 and the. So all the ands become the da of the triplet. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and the 2. Now that doesn't sound too much. I'm explaining, I'm demonstrating, and it's an instructional platform. So now if I took line 1, said play it straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now say play it swung. 1 and the 2, the 3, the 4. So I'm maintaining that sticking pattern, yet I'm doing it 2 different ways. I'm doing it straight up and down, and I'm doing it swung. Like for example, let's do line number 3. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And yes, I'm taking it only from the wrist. I'm not pounding like that. It's just from the wrist. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now I want to swing that. 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now, I just changed the feel. And that's what syncopated means, or swung. It means to change the feel. So now, if I was playing, say, line 5, the paradiddle, straight up and down, it'd be 1 without an accent, 1 and 2 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I want to swing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So now, here's what I have. I could play straight up and down or swung. We're working with swung. Let's go back to line 1. And let's do a drum set application of this thing a little bit, okay? If I take the R's and do a substitution, make them the bass drum, 1, and I make all the L's the snare drum. So if I say, you're playing line 1 swung on the snare drum. 1 and 2 and. Now we're going to do a substitution. Instead of using the right hand, let's use the bass drum. So line 1 would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now I have to demonstrate this slowly, only because we have drummers viewing this of all different levels. Some know this, some don't, and that's what this is for the ones who don't. And the ones who do, it's like a review, and I'm sharing with you my approach. So now we're going to do the substitution. Line 3. We're going to first play it straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, and substitute straight 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and swung. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let me do that slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's line 3 of page 5 of the stick control book, substituting the rights for the bass drum and playing it swung. Now, line 5, the paradiddle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and straight up and down. Swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the next move is the substitution. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now you could take all 3 pages and do it that way. Now, using that substitution, and we could add with that substitution, we could put our left foot on 2 and 4, heel and toe, and play a straight ahead jazz pattern. Now, straight ahead jazz pattern, 1 and 2 and 3. I'm in the triplet mode, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. But notice that right hand. I'm trying to maintain a consistent pulse, a consistent sound on my ride cymbal, so it sounds musical. So I am holding my stick now French. And what I'm doing here is I'm interjecting the levels. I have a free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. Now listen to the quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds the same, and that's what I'm going for. Now I'm thinking triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you want to maintain that and play line 1 of the stick control book, page 5, line 1, swung with the substitution. R equals the bass drum, L equals the snare drum. 1 a slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Line 3. Line 5. They don't sound too much of it like anything. I mean, you're practicing, you're learning them. You want to play them up tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Line 1. Line 2. Look at that right hand. Line 3. Line 4. Line 5. So on and so forth. And that's the interpretation of straight up and down in swung. And I went a little further than that. And I try to do a drum set application, show you how to play jazz independence. By the way, this evening on my site, mappatellallivelessons.com, we're going to be working, we're going to evolve 2 basic songs, jazz tunes, structurally, the 32 measure tune A, B, A, Satin Doll, and the A Train. And I'm going to break it down, and I'm sharing with the students how I learned how to play that. See, there is no right and wrong when you're playing things like that, unless you maintain the rules. And the rules are the structure. What is the structure and so on. We're going to get into that on my page tonight. That is, by the way, you have to subscribe to that, and there is a fee. And if you so want to, fine. The lessons are Monday and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Randy, how you doing? You coming to the lesson tonight, Mr. Cohn? Randy's a seasoned player. So are you, John, I believe. And these lessons are designed for drummers of all levels. Just remember, we are all created equal, but we're in different places right now, if that makes any sense to you. Now, John and Randy, and whoever else is listening and watching, are there any questions? You know, Randy, maybe I should study with you. You're always gigging, man. That's a good thing. Are there any questions? Well, you know what? What I'm going to do, Randy, is I'm not going to record that tonight, or maybe I will, and I might send it to you if I don't want to put it onto YouTube. I might do that, and you, John, also, and whoever else would like it. If you want to get on my mailing list, email me. I put my email there, and I'll send you some PDF sheets and the week's agenda. I'm going to be more consistent. Things have come up because it's summertime now, but I'm going to be more consistent on Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel, and which call 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, on my channel every Monday and Wednesday. I'm going to try to be as consistent as understood. All right, well, I try to demonstrate this thing with the molar thing, and, you know, this is all nonsense. It's all the laws of physics. It's labeled molar, stone, Adler. I mean, nobody created this. It exists. We just have to find it. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. Okay, Randy, those charts, by the way, you know, there are people going to be listening to this afterward. And I just got a question. I sent Randy, one of my students, well, one of the members of my site, 2 charts. One chart was of the A Train, and the second chart was Satin Doll. Now, I didn't write out the melodic structure. I wrote out the rhythmic structure. Okay? And if you follow that, both tunes are 32 measures. Each has an A, B, A section. And that's what we're going to be going over. You're going to play very simple, how to learn a tune. You know, it's just not ding, chang, ka-ding, chang. It's humming the tune. What is this? I can't see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you're on the live stream right now on YouTube. John, and this evening at 7:30 p.m. on my site, not on this site. So if you want to become a member, go to my site and register. This is the stream for today. This is the live stream. What would you like? I'm going over. I'm answering all my emails as far as they were confused what straight up and down was and swung, and the molar, the wrist, the levers, the laws of physics. What else would you like, John? John, email me. Okay, I might do this on this channel as well. Email me, and if you'd like, I'll send you the 2 sheets I sent Randy. And email me a tune you'd like to do, a jazz tune, not a rock tune or a fusion tune or whatever. Something rock, straight up and down, very simple. I gave them 2 sheets in 4/4. I will be sending them 1 and 3/4. Footprints, we know that tune. We're going to work that. Now I'm going to share with the members of that group, and I'll do it maybe on this group as well, how I said, this is how I learned the tune. And by me teaching the way I learned is teaching you other things. John, are you dissatisfied today, Mr. Robinson? Is there something you want to go over? Randy, you know that tune Footprints, correct? Well, if there are no questions, it's almost time for me to sign out. John, what would you like? That's a good tune to jam from. We're going to talk about improv. John, please talk to me, John. Tell me what you would like, John. Oh, well. Okay. You're on my mailing list, John. Randy, you're on my mailing list. Okay. All right. I will be back on this channel Monday, 4 p.m. All the other lessons on Monday and Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. on my site. Well, yeah, here's the statement I just got now. I think it's important to know the melodies of the tunes you want to play. And yeah, the lyrics too. That's cool. But most certainly the melody. You see, there's certain. Hold on a minute, Randy. There's certain elements to learning. First you have to get organization. You have to count, understand rhythm, and from that platform, instead of just counting, you're humming the rhythm. Eventually, if you want to work a tune, Satin Doll, very basic, or the A Train, you want to hum the melody. What I do with that is I'll put, there's a couple different variations, or arrangements rather, and what I do is I put it on and listen to it, and listen to it, and hum it all day long, all day long. And then I'll sit down and just play time to it. And then if it's happening, if it's they're jamming or improvising or whatever, I try to follow that. That's the conversation musically. But yes, definitely hum the melody. Every melody, I have to be honest, every melody that I play, I hum. Sometimes, if it's a spur of the moment thing and I don't know the melody, well, I'm in trouble. But I count. And that count gives me the form. They tell me it's 4/4 32 measure form, AABA. I know what I'm doing from that point. And because of playing so often or so much, that if you don't know the tune, once it goes around once or twice, you'll remember where it is or what it is. John D. Robinson, any questions, sir? Okay, going once, going twice, and Mr. Matt is going to take a break and prepare for this evening's lesson. Okay, gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. I hope you've gained a little knowledge of what I said today. And remember, I'm going to make a video. It's not to give you my approaches, my concepts, and my feelings of what this molar thing is, and what the stone thing is, and the French and the German and the American. That's totally out there. So I'm gonna definitely make a video in depth, in detail. Okay. See you, gentlemen. Hopefully tonight, or if not, Monday on this channel. Have a good day.